What's good? What's good? What's good? This is episode number, I think it's six. Six. Hold on. Super excited though, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Look, she's been a friend. Been a friend actually for a while. Just tremendous respect, tremendous love, and I'm just excited to just share this conversation with her, share some of her wisdom, get some insight, and yes, taste that delicious goodness that you guys can't smell, but it's here in my office. So, without further ado, Stephanie, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Hello.
Hi. I know. What do you say to that after?
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, everyone. Hola. You revert to
Hola
like
a
Spanish.
todos.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, favorite Bay Area song?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to throw it back though. But I would say the one that speaks to me the most, not speaks to me, but speaks to like my Bay Area soul.
Okay.
Where every time you hear it, you gotta dance.
Let's
is
go.
Tell Me When to Go.
Gas, brake, dip,
Yes.
dip. Oh my God, that was a hit though.
Yes, that was a hit.
That whole album.
It still hits.
It still is. That's true. But that album, I Get a Report Card E40 though. That whole album, I think that really.
We met E40 before.
You met E40?
My older sister and I, when he was barely starting, he was at Hilltop Mall in Richmond.
That's crazy.
R.I.P. Hilltop Mall.
Yeah, I know, for real.
But he was at the mall, and we got an autograph and everything.
What?
Shout out to E40.
Yo, E40, yo. 40 water. Sprinkle me, man. Oh, man, that's crazy. Yeah, but, man, Bay Area.
Bay Area.
For sure. Speaking of the Bay Area, though, you grew up in San Pablo.
San Pablo, yes.
San Pablo. Now, San Pablo borders Richmond, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it like Richmond overshadows San Pablo most of the time?
For sure, but there's no difference. Like if you live in Richmond, you basically grew up in San Pablo. If you live in San Pablo, you basically grew up in Richmond. Like you live smack in the middle of Richmond, so it's kind of like you cross the train tracks and you're in Richmond. So it's where I grew up. That street alone was fairly quiet, but once you get out of that street, it's like you're pretty much in the hood. You go 2 blocks down, you cross the train tracks, and you're in the hood. So crazy. It's kind of like there's no way you can grow up in one or the other and not be
it's like
part
literally
of the other.
having one foot on both sides,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It's like a seamless transition between, San Pablo and Richmond. But somehow, I think when people think, it's been my experience. I mean, tell me if this is your experience when people think, when you tell them San Pablo and they're like, hold on, where's
San Pablo?
Yeah.
And then I have to be like, Richmond. And they're like, oh, okay.
Why didn't you say that?
Yeah. It's like, because I don't live there.
Yeah, exactly. San Pablo's its own city.
Yeah.
I actually met the mayor.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Who? Abel?
San Pablo. She's the. I'm gonna edit this so I can put the name.
Say the correct one.
Yeah. All right, now so if people are interested and they want to hit up the best Mexican food spot in San Pablo, which one? Like which one's like not even close? You gotta at least try this.
You know what? I would have to see. Here we go. Now I would have to say Richmond.
Oh, okay.
The top. I would say you gotta go to the taco truck on 21st Street.
21st.
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to think if I've been
And
there.
I think it's called Flor de Jalisco. It's been there for years.
Okay.
My grandma actually used to live on 21st Street.
Oh, so
it was like an area that I grew up in. So again, Richmond.
Okay, so grandma in Richmond, and then your parents lived in San Pablo.
Yes, both of them lived in Richmond.
Got it.
Met in Richmond. My grandma's house was in Richmond.
Let's go.
Uncles lived in Richmond.
Yeah,
so it's
Okay, so so that's home.
That's home, yes.
That's home. Okay, so on that theme then, tell me, what do you feel in retrospect now? You're not currently living there, but it's like you're saying, it's home, it's what shaped you, right? Like the woman you are today. Like what would you say, like what did Richmond and San Pablo give you positively?
Positively, I would say, in a way, strength.
How
in
so?
a way, some sort of like toughness.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And not so much, I would say that I've never gotten in a fight before. But
You never
it
did?
never did,
Wow.
surprisingly.
Yeah, okay.
But
Yeah.
it did give me that toughness to kind of like, you don't have to look scared to avoid certain situations.
No, I get that.
You know,
Yeah.
kind of, you have to act, you know, kind of like carry yourself a certain way so that people don't take advantage of you.
For sure.
And that kind of, you know, I guess followed me throughout my life of like, even like in high school, going to college, when, you know, people doubt you, you have to carry yourself a certain way so that they don't see the weakness in you. And kind of that helps you kind of get over certain circumstances in your life and kind of push to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Yeah,
so I would say growing up where I grew up, it kind of made me be tough. Even if I didn't have to use it physically.
For sure. Yeah. Because tough is not just only like physical, right? It's a mental toughness.
Exactly.
Like grit, like personality, perseverance. Like
overcoming those stereotypes, you have to be mentally tough.
For sure.
To kind of just keep going.
You know, actually, you know, it's funny how like for me, like I have found that when I was growing up that to your point of like just even being sure of yourself, like coming across a little more secure of yourself, which is like what I'm considering tough, that would already diffuse so many situations.
Exactly.
Because people will look at that and respond to like, oh, okay, they don't look like a pushover. Maybe I shouldn't go there with them, you know?
Yes.
And also, it's also maybe a blessing because it could have gone there.
Yeah.
Because I've also saw that with friends.
Yeah.
And, you know, but, thankfully, you know, that's cool that it never did.
Yeah.
So what would you say was the vibe then? Growing up, what was the vibe just overall in the city in that time? Just
in that time, it was basically, I guess you kind of had to prove yourself. I did go to like a not so great public elementary school, not so great public middle school. I was such a shy, very reserved kid. But I did have a lot of friends, which was kind of weird because I was very quiet, very shy, but I did have a lot of friends, all races, you know, Asian, African American, Hispanic, whatever. Yo me hacía amigas de todas, you know, everybody. But, you know, I kind of, in that shyness or reservedness, I was very observant. So in my stepping back, I always had a very clear mind of like, what other people were doing, what their intentions were. I remember since I was very little, I always had kind of like that observant mindset. And just kind of like growing up in that way to make sure that nobody that was surrounding me was going to kind of like backstab me. And of course that happens in all friendships. For people turn on you, talk behind your back. I was bullied in elementary school. Then went to middle school. A lot of my friends from elementary school didn't go to my middle school, so it was kind of like starting all over. Oh, man, I was still very shy, but I still had that same mindset of kind of like, I made best friends, but kind of keeping in the back of my mind of like, are they really my friends? You know, and kind of just growing up in that mindset that, you know, one day they could be your friend, the next day they might want to fight you. And that's one thing. I think the vibe in middle school was just like fights and like, what would you call them? There was a lot of racial fights.
Oh, I remember that. Oh my God.
The Mexicans versus blacks. And, you know, that was like a constant, like at least a monthly thing in middle school.
God. James Madison Middle School, which I've already talked about. That's exactly what it was. It was like a civil war.
Yes.
Oh my God. It happened for me too.
Walter T. Helms in middle school. Middle school in San Pablo was just.
But it was crazy. Like, later, I ended up talking to those. They became friends of mine later. We got into like racial fights in middle school, and then we were dapping up and kicking it in high school.
That was the thing. That was the thing. That and like people would go behind the buildings to like slap box. I remember that a lot.
Slap box?
Yes. Se agarraban a cachetadas.
But slaps? So you couldn't punch.
You
had
couldn't
to just
punch.
slap.
You had to slap.
Hey, bro, we didn't do that in Oakland, though. That must be a strictly San Pablo,
It
Richmond
probably
thing.
was, but like that was like a highlight thing growing up. So it's kind of like you always got to be watching. And I think that's kind of like my mindset is that I wasn't in that, but I always had to be very observant and watching because de la nada te pueden agarrar. And actually, I did almost get jumped in middle school.
But didn't happen.
But I didn't.
Almost,
Thank
yeah?
the Lord. And I
Wow.
think now looking back,
Yeah.
that's one of the instances that I think like, dang, like God has always like been there. And I remember I was like, it was after school. It wasn't even during school. And there was a group of girls. I had already spotted them, and that's again watching.
Yeah, paying attention.
I had already seen them, and they were going around. All the like shyer kids. A girl had a rolled up piece of paper, and she was like walking by and just popping everybody on the head.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God, Steph.
This day, I remember I was waiting for my mom to pick me up, and she wasn't picking up her phone. And I kept calling her and calling her, my mom. And I'm like, she's not picking up. I guess I'm going to have to walk home because every now and then I would walk home. So I'm standing by like the crosswalk, and I see from the corner of my eye that they're coming and just popping every kid in the head, and nobody says anything.
Wow.
And I'm like, ooh, she better not pop me in the head.
Yeah.
But it was at least, I would say, between 5 to 10 girls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's coming, and I look her straight in her face, and she don't do nothing until she passes by. Pop.
Oh, she did, yeah?
She did.
And then what happened?
And mind you, I am so shy, so reserved. I'm not confrontational at all at that age. And my mouth opened, and I was like, beep.
Oh, you said you let her have it with some verbal. Yeah.
Yes. She didn't hear me, but her friend did. At that exact moment, the crosswalk turned on to cross the street. So I crossed. I was like, I'm walking home. Next thing I know, I'm like walking down. And then I hear, somebody's going to get their ass beat. Somebody's going to get. And I turn around, and it's like a group of like 10 girls running down the street, coming after me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, I'm off campus. I'm walking home. Like, they're going to beat me up.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, the security guard saw.
Oh.
Shout out to Hector. I think
Shout
I
out
have him
Hector.
on Facebook.
Oh, you know what? I think I know him.
You know Hector?
I know Hector.
He was the security guard
He's
at
bald.
Helms. I think now, yes. At the time, probably not.
No, I know Hector because he used to come to. Okay, this is offline. We could talk.
But yes, he was the security guard at Helms at that time.
I do know him.
And he just said, hey, come back. Where y'all going? And they were like, man. They started fighting with him, and I dipped. I left.
Peace.
I ran home.
Wow. Was it a far, like, long distance?
I would say walking, it was probably like a 15-20 minute walk from home. Not driving, it was super close.
For sure,
but walking, well, there was like a shortcut. But my mom would always tell me, don't go that way because that's the cut. So you got to go around.
You guys don't know that? The cuts mean, it's, let's just say it like this. It won't pop up on Google Maps. But there's two things I want to mention here. So, one, you've been saying you were very observant and just being aware. Like, so I want to like just go a little deeper on that. Like, what do you think that comes from? Is that a natural thing? Is that just like natural part with just how you're growing up, or?
I think it was just a natural part of me because I think both of my sisters were shy, but my older sister is she's shy, but she's very talkative, very outgoing. Like once you start talking to her, she's very out there. She's an open book. She will tell you her whole life. But I've always been the more observant one. So it was one thing to be shy and not talk to people, but I was always watching. And I was always, like I can, I guess, discern somebody's intentions. And that's one thing that Junior always says, like, how do you know? Like, how do you know that person was going to be like that? How do you know? I'm like, well, their body language, the way they, talk, the way, it just, I can feel it. I can feel it.
Oh
And
my
that,
gosh.
it was since I was little, I've been like that. Yeah.
I think we're similar in a lot of ways. Like I think so.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
just
so too. And I think Bella and Junior are very similar too.
Man, they even went to the same high school.
Yeah, so that's weird. But it's so interesting.
So our significant others went to the same high school. They're gonna be watching this, so this
Shout
is
out to them.
Shout out! This is your moment where you're gonna be smiling, seeing this.
Hi, honey.
We did it. Oh my gosh, but yeah, I think we're very similar because I've had so many moments like that with Bella, también.
Yeah.
Or she, just in short would be just like, how do you know? That resonates with me. Just how do you know? Why are you saying that? Just watch. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm fair, I think like 9 out of 10. I don't really miss from the mark. I'm like, I knew it.
Yeah.
You know, I read
But you
that.
can also tell when people are really good people.
For sure.
Yes.
So it goes both ways.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, but it's like an intuitive, maybe the harshness of the reality in which you live so early on, which is what I talked about, in my video, and it kind of forces you to be more aware.
Exactly.
To I would almost say like be like on edge all the time.
Yes.
Yes. Because you learn quickly on, like, if you're not doing that, you're gonna be caught slipping.
Exactly.
And if and so that, and my mom was also very disciplinary.
Yes.
So, and I wanted a girlfriend in school, and she was on me like a hawk. So you learned. I mean, like, so it's all those things together that just made me, just be way more aware. Because when you were saying, because I heard it, like, you've been saying awareness and just mindful of the surroundings. I'm still like that. I don't walk anywhere or take my kids anywhere in my family where I don't first get a good read of the room, and then kind of anticipate. It's like, all right, homie over there, like, sketch, okay, this and that.
Yeah.
Kinda.
And Junior's like, why are you so paranoid? Like, it's fine. I'm like, it's fine for you. But I'm like, I gotta keep watch all the time. Like,
all the time.
Especially now with kids.
Oh.
It's like, whoop, like, who's around me? Yeah.
Who's around me?
That's how.
Okay, so that paints a good picture for the vibe. Okay, but
Yes.
But I know that you have a master's.
Yes.
So let's move into, like, let's shift gears here. So you graduated, you made it, and was that already from high school? Did you already have your mind fixed that you were going to go to college, that you're going to pursue?
That I was going to go to college, yes.
Okay.
But what I wanted to pursue, no. That was my mindset. My older sister went away from college. Not too far enough to live there. So she went to San Jose State.
Okay.
But so I wanted to do the same thing. But with all of that and how involved I was in youth group and everything, during that time, my safest bet was, like, I just go to San Francisco State and just commute and be home when I need to be home. And
so you never stayed on campus?
Never. I moved out of the house when I got married.
Wow. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's back. This is so much in this time frame. Okay, so a couple of things. So faith was already a part of your life even from high school?
Yes.
Okay, how?
It started in high school.
Please.
So I grew up very traditional Catholic.
Okay.
I knew we were Catholic, but it wasn't something consistent. We didn't go to Mass every single Sunday. It was kind of like whenever. But we did always go to El Día de la Virgen de Guadalupe.
Okay.
And that was something that was, like, stuck in my mind. I remember just growing up, that's kind of like what we did. Just every once in a while go to this or go to that. But it wasn't until I was probably 15 my mom started going to El Grupo de Oración.
Is that a
in
charismatic,
St. Paul's.
charismatic prayer group? Yeah. Okay.
And she made me go to the youth group.
Oh, they had a youth group and the adult group?
Yes.
Oh, they were...
Pueblo Santo.
Okay.
Yeah. So she was like, hey, my friend invited me to this prayer group. There's a youth group and you're going. I was like, no, I don't want to go. She's like, well, you're going to have to go because I'm not going to leave you at home. So there I was every Friday,
Okay.
you know, and the friend that invited her actually had a daughter, and, you know, we were cool. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, well, at least I know someone there.
Right.
So I go, and I remember the first day I went, actually the one who kind of greeted me, because I knew him already, was Adan.
Oh.
He was at the prayer group, and I was like,
Adan.
shout out to Adan.
Shout out. Oh, okay.
Yes, so we went to the same high school for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So he was at the youth group, and I was like, okay, I know somebody else. And he's always been super chill, super nice. So I'm like, okay, so I kind of know some people. I think maybe a couple weeks after I started going to youth group, they had a retiro de Nueva Vida. And that was like life-changing.
For you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for me and my sister. Because then after that retreat, around that time, I also started confirmation class.
Okay.
Coincidentally.
Oh.
So I did the retreat, started confirmation class, and I was like mind blown. Like,
wow.
Confirmation class for me was like I wanted to learn because of the retreat.
Oh, I see. So the retreat happened first, then confirmation
Class. Yes.
So what happened in the retreat? Like, what was the one thing or two things that like clicked that made it powerful?
There was a dinámica where they blindfold you, and they kind of take you through different. I want to say like little stations. I know there was one with water. You had to listen to like the water.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Okay.
And I remember we were blindfolded. And as we're blindfolded, I remember just listening to what, los servidores were telling us. And I'm just like, whoa, like, of the typical, Jesus te ama and all this stuff. But, things like that, I don't think I had ever heard before.
Wow.
Even though I grew up traditionally Catholic, I don't think a lot of those things I had ever really like been taught. So it's kind of like eye-opening. And I remember we went back into the hall and we sat down, and that's when they started doing like the prayer and like imponiendo manos and all of that. And that is like when I just broke down.
That was a moment.
And I truly felt like Jesus was hugging me.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you got to live that with your sister.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
And she experienced something similar as well.
Wow.
So we both kind of just like went all in at that point. So from that then on, like youth group was pretty much like
I want to go.
Yeah. And Sophia came.
Okay.
Shout out to Sophia.
Yeah. Shout out Sophia.
Yeah. So then Sophia played a big role in my spirituality and
She's
everything.
Legit. Mm-hmm. That's interesting, like how legit she is.
Yes. Yes.
A drop of a dime, you call her something, and again going back to like you just know, like
just know exactly her and her mama.
Oh my God! Yes,
Rosie.
Shout out Rosie.
Like just their their spirit. Yeah,
it's powerful.
It is. So I think she definitely played a big role in me continuing to go back, because even in my daily life, then that's the thing about Sophia, we were so comfortable in like always sharing like what we were doing outside of youth group.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, yes, Sophia, like this and this is going on, I'm dating so and so, Stephanie, anytime we did something that we were not supposed to do, it was like a Stephanie, you're not supposed to be doing that, but she would guide us back. She would. It wasn't much of a scold. It was more like, better. Yeah. So this is what we're going to do now. So she always had that where she got me back on track. And she would always reassure me like, you know what this is. So I think thanks to her, it kind of helped me stay.
About this, where I hope my kids can feel comfortable to be able to talk to me about anything. And
that's the goal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I really want them to be able to talk to me about it, because I know what it felt like growing up for me, where I know that I deliberately hid some stuff.
Oh yeah,
maybe
sure.
a lot of things.
A lot of things.
What am I trying to be? I hid something. I hid 99.9%. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Mama. But look. Your prayers work. Here I am, and I love you. But yeah, what was the BA at San Francisco?
Sociology.
Sociology undergrad. Then just like super quick, like you were not happy with just a sociology
No,
degree.
because I did sociology because I wasn't sure what I wanted.
Okay.
But I knew I wanted to work with people. And
Okay.
I knew I wanted to give back to my community and be out there
Okay.
somehow. So I figured sociology is pretty general. So I can do that. And I loved what I was learning in sociology, you know, analyzing different groups of people, throwing in some criminology in there, which I got to experience some really good things when I was doing community service. I actually volunteered for a tattoo removal clinic.
Oh.
For inmates that were coming out of prison,
Okay.
that were trying to change their life around,
I see.
removing their tattoo.
Yeah.
Kind of got to hear like their stories here and there, and they would all say it is so much more painful to get it removed than to get it done. And so yeah, but I loved like connecting with people and hearing their stories, and you know, like that's what I kind of had in mind at that time. If you talked to me in high school, I would have probably leaned more to like what I wanted to do was like cosmetology or like something in like the more beauty industry.
Okay.
But that wouldn't have been good enough for my parents, I don't think.
Okay.
Well, this is my thought process at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, no, they don't want me to do
No, mija,
that.
tiene que ir a la universidad.
Yes,
Algo de
like
verdad.
algo, sí, una carrera bien que te paguen bien. Yeah, so.
And God bless them, because they mean well.
Yeah, oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And like my parents did everything and they could to kind of like lead us into that direction.
So did you go right into the master's as soon as you graduated with the BA?
I think I took maybe probably like a semester.
And then why that master's?
My sister also has a master's in public administration.
Another point. But okay, so you brought up your kids. You're a mama.
Yes.
A proud, happy mama of two.
Yes, a girl and a boy.
Yeah, a girl and a boy. So what has motherhood been like for you?
What hasn't it been?
Like, let me tell you.
It's been everything. I think it is a combination of like joy and chaos. It's just can't be one or the other. It's always both. Yeah.
What? Okay, going on to the chaos. What has been the one thing that right now pops to your head? You're like, what is this? Like, hicieron, something your kids did, maybe just one or both of them together. You're like, what?
Yeah.
There's no way. Can you think of one?
They just a mess. A mess everywhere, every day.
Oh, every day, still.
Yes.
This is happening now.
I could be like, don't make a mess. Okay, mama. And next thing I know, is toys everywhere.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The stuff, though, they do. Like, so my kids in the backyard, you just see my backyard. There's a part where we're fixing. This morning, this just happened today. He dipped his hand in the mud, walks up to me looking cute, but not to hug me. Literally just to wipe his hand and walks away.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Just to,
Yeah.
and then just goes back. I'm like, what do you think?
Yep. You're a personal napkin at that point.
Oh my God,
Yes.
straight up personal napkin. But they're also so sweet.
Oh, yeah.
But they're also like,
sure.
what is this? It's like the emotions, you know? Because I've got slapped and kissed.
All in the same minute.
Yeah. Like the anger and then what am I feeling right now?
Yeah.
Like you kids, I need a new psychologist, you know,
Yeah.
a new therapy for this.
But it's all a learning experience. I feel like I'm learning with them to regulate my emotions with them because they have a hard time. But I think I never really learned as a kid how to regulate my emotions. So I'm kind of like learning with them too.
Is there, even so early on right now, is there things that you could that you could maybe tell like an expecting mom, like girl, you need this. If you could give them one tip, what's the one tip?
Therapy.
Personally, like individually, like the mom. You're telling the moms go get therapy.
Yes.
Why is that?
I feel like, and that's actually, I do give out that advice. If it's one advice I give to moms that not necessarily expecting but want to have kids is like, before you have children, like go to therapy. Because right now you may not think that there's anything wrong, but once you have a kid, like everything comes out. All your triggers, everything, traumas that comes out in motherhood. So I feel like if I would have maybe gotten therapy before becoming a mom, I would have had the tools early on to like guide them instead of kind of learning alongside them.
Yeah, I want to go there. I want to go there. I would even say therapy even before you get married.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yes.
Because
Yes.
marriage too also it's different with kids because especially for a mother, you know, like you're the ones carrying them, and yes, we get that part, but marriage itself also brings out a lot of things that you think are not there, and you're like,
Yes.
wow,
Things you don't even think of.
right,
Like you washed the dishes wrong. Like who taught you that?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is Bella, oh my god, yes, anyways,
Let's not go there.
yeah, yeah, but yes,
Yes.
there's so much that yes was like deeply connected there because there's so much in there. But yeah, I would even say for like before you get married,
Yeah.
therapy for sure. But going back, I don't. Yes, but I want to go here to the kids because we, you know, I had shared. I want you to share that whatever you're, you know, comfortable with. But so what happened? What was the like before and after?
I think, like you said, definitely marriage, kind of bad thing, but you're gonna have things that you're gonna have to work through. So it's kind of like getting through that. But thankfully, I feel like before we got married, we had already gone through situations where we were kind of like, is this gonna work out? You know, type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we had already overcame stuff holding on to God, basically. There was certain circumstances where we were engaged already, but we weren't married. That you know, it got to the point where we would call each other at night. After Junior would get off of work, he would call me, and we would pray the rosary over the phone.
Oh.
You know, so it was kind of things like that that we were already kind of overcoming certain conflicts before marriage. That once we started living together, it was kind of like pause, like what do we need to do,
Right.
you know, and whether it's individually or as a couple, pulling away from God or pulling away from Jesus, we got to points where it's like, okay, what do we do to come back?
Come back, yeah.
So
I think you're saying like it's almost like you had the foundation or you had the seeds. You guys knew the resources, like you know where to how, because some people don't even know how to come back because they never had that.
Yeah.
You know, so but for you guys, like you're saying, especially with what you just shared, that you know Jesus encountering you so young that you know where home was. You know how to bring your marriage to like where it needs to be.
And that was kind of the thing. That was kind of like the test too when I met him. He was going through a lot too because soon after we got together, I think it was like 3 months after we got together, his dad passed away. So it was like everything was on him. But I think it was like even the weekend after his dad's funeral, I invited him to a congreso.
Oh.
Yeah. And he said yes, and he went. So that point was kind of like it clicked to me like, oh, like he's serious. You know, he no matter what he's going through, like he's going to be open to God, you know?
That's a remarkable thing about love. You know?
Yeah.
That I don't know who I was just joking with before. Oh, I think it was somebody here at the parish that I gave him a haircut, and we were talking about how God knows that we need to fall in love deeply to be able to change. You know? Because in God willing, you know, you meet the right person, you know, who leads you, like somebody like you who would invite them to something good, God.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm saying that because it's so many times where I can see like the things that you do when you're in love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly,
like,
exactly.
That commute going to school sucked, right? But if you were seeing somebody you like,
and that would be, and that's what Junior said, because he was like, man, Richmond was always so far to me, but once we started dating, so it was like that was big for me, because you know, being in the dating scene, I feel like I always put that kind of like test out when it came to like my faith, I took it seriously and I made it
Oh.
a point that it was a big part of me. And, you know, the people would tell you, oh, yeah, that's fine. I love that about you.
Until
Are
when?
you sure? Until they saw
the commitment.
how much I was committed. And that's when it was like, oh, no, that's too much.
Yeah. But praise God, though.
And I would always pray, you know, like I would always pray to him, like, if this person isn't for me, like, take him away. And like that.
But you know what? But praying through your relationship, I've always given that advice when you're dating. You gotta be praying through when you're dating. And granted, nobody here perfect. There's couples that I know that they're amazing when they date, right? They kept it PG and they didn't move from PG. Then there's couples who PG-13 all the way to R. We're sinners. I'm not here to judge you.
Yeah.
Go to confession. But you know, like, but keeping prayer.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, going back to the source for him to ultimately guide you to like, is this the person that you want to live out for the rest of your life?
Yeah. But you got to listen, because if not, you're going to miss it.
Oh, that rhymes.
Yeah.
Say it again. You got to.
Como dije.
Yeah, you got to listen.
Or else you're going to miss it.
You're going to miss it.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of the times, like I was not listening until I had to listen. Like I remember there was this guy that told me like straight up, like, you're asking for too much. He's like no guy out there is ever going to give you what you're asking for. Like basically you're doing too much. Like you're over the top. And this guy told me like, I love that you are a woman of your faith. But when he started seeing how much I was about my faith, he didn't like it. And so when I met Junior, I did the same thing. If this man is not for me, take him away. Y más.
The opposite
would happen. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it was kind of like, and then when I invited him to that congreso and he showed up, I was like, dang, like he's going through a lot and he's still here. You know? So,
you're like, you don't know it yet, but this is like a huge plus.
Yeah. So just like that,
Man,
I started taking him to youth group.
Okay.
Anything I would tell him about, he's like, yeah, I'm down. Let's go. And that's kind of how it started. Yeah. So it kind of solidified that.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So how many years married now?
We have been married for 7 years.
7 years. Wow.
We've been together for almost 10 this month.
Oh my God, this month.
Yes.
Ooh, you guys going somewhere? Anniversary?
I don't know yet. Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe. Okay. Everything has to be coordinated because we got the babies.
With the kids.
So I'm going to show you a song. Just hear it, listen to it. I doubt you've ever heard this song. Just listen to it and then, you know, I'll get your feedback.
Okay.
Mama took the baby home, but she's still grieving. Limping to the crib in the night just to see if he's still breathing. Can't produce enough some milk, but she ain't giving up, still breastfeeding. Everybody holding the baby, but they forget that mama's still bleeding. Hey, put a white dress on a 9-month bump, girl, that's an angel. She grew a human in her body, did it graceful. I hope I never make her question if I'm grateful. I never knew that giving birth could be mentally painful. No, I never knew that postpartum could feel like rock bottom. She fake a smile, afraid to admit she might have a problem. She's supposed to be happy, so why she feel this way? Nobody checking on mama after the due date. She feeling depressed, the feeling suppressed, afraid to confess. She know that she blessed, the house is a mess, can barely get dressed, no milk in the breast. And all her husband wanna know is, baby, when can we have sex? They say 6 weeks you clear for intercourse and exercise. Any woman say she want either one, she telling extra lies. Hormones in overdrive, mama take your time. Doctor says she healing fine, but she ain't feeling fine. On the bathroom floor with tears in her eyes, sleep deprived, the old version of her slowly dying. But her baby smiling, that's that silver lining. Looking in his sweet eyes, I swear your mama trying. Everybody whispering like, why's mom in a bad mood? We don't talk about it publicly, nah, this taboo. It's worth mentioning postpartum affects dads too, expecting both parents to get back to work way too damn soon. Mama took the baby home, but she's still grieving. Limping to the crib in the night just to see if he's still breathing. Can't produce enough some milk, but she ain't giving up, still breastfeeding. Everybody holding the baby, but they forget that mama's still bleeding. Hey, at the 6-week post-op, she was shocked when the doc ain't take no blood, but told about the pill she could pop. See the sign now, feel more like the block. Her drug dealer got a stethoscope instead of a Glock. Make it stop. It's starting to take its toll. She wanted answers, but all she left with was some birth control. What she really need is PT for the pelvic flow. But like they say, she don't know what she don't know. Motherhood ain't matching up with the baby book she was reading. She can't explain it, she feel like she's sad for no reason. We should talk about it instead of keeping it secret. Give that woman time to heal, cause she's still bleeding.
I said I wasn't gonna cry, but
The first time I heard it, I cried for different reasons, different reasons. I'm sorry if, putting
oh
you
no,
on the
it's
spot,
okay.
But yeah, I think there's one line there, and there's a lot of things that I want to do with this podcast. It's like the things that people find taboo, especially in faith, because I think, sometimes like, well, you have Jesus, how can you struggle, So, I don't know, where do you want to begin with this? Like, what did it bring up?
I think tying it back to like my therapy kind of advice. I think in motherhood, I lost myself, I would say. And as much as I like tried to reach God, I couldn't. I knew he was there and I wanted to. But I think I got to a point where I like didn't feel worthy anymore. Like all this time, and I like got so far from him because I was wrapped up in motherhood that I felt like he wouldn't find me worthy anymore. And I think this song kind of like brought up, like when I first had Janelle, it was hard. I wouldn't get out of the room for like the first few months. I would just get out to eat. But that I would make myself get up and get out to eat because I knew I had to feed her. And the only way I could feed her is if I fed myself. Otherwise, like, I wouldn't. And it's crazy because I did struggle to like breastfeed her in the beginning. But it's something I wanted to do. And she lost weight because I didn't know that she wasn't eating enough until she got checked out. And so figuring all that out, it was difficult. And it was kind of anxiety and being paranoid that she was okay, because she would also like, I think she had like reflux. So in the middle of the night, like se ahogaba, but she wouldn't make noise. So it was just kind of like my intuition that would wake me up, or God that would wake me up, and I would look and check on her and she would be like purple.
Oh, God.
And I would like just get up and grab her and like, so it's like, it was so hard to like have to keep her alive, and not knowing what to do. But it was kind of like just internally like screaming for help, and my husband was a new dad too, so he had no idea. And even if I told him, like, it's one thing to kind of express to him and him saying that he understands, but then him having his own needs as well, it was a battle, it was a fight. And I remember, I think Janelle was like a few months, probably like 3 or 4 months, I tried to get help, and everything was so backed up. Therapists were full with appointments that it took so long for me to get set up with somebody. And I had maybe like 1 or 2 appointments with that therapist, and then they left and left me there. And they're like, you just have to get back on the list to get with another therapist. And so I said, forget it. Like, like nobody's trying to like help. Like they don't take it seriously. So I kind of just left it and tried to heal on my own from there. And so it took a lot of like conversations with my husband, trying to understand each other and like get through it. And it's kind of just been us, like we don't really have people to fall back on. In emergencies, like we'll reach out to like my parents and stuff, but we try to just kind of do everything on our own. So it's been tough. And I think that because I didn't find myself worthy anymore, like I was afraid to like get back to like what I used to be. And I was always like, I guess, mourning like who I used to be.
That's deep. Yeah.
So I think that was one of the main things that kept me in that depressive state. It was just me comparing myself to my old self. And not just like physically too, but like I used to be so close to God. I used to go to church every Sunday. I used to be so involved. I used to serve. I used to preach in retreats. And it's like, where am I now? But I think I was being so hard on myself that I dug myself deeper. And so it wasn't until I had my son that I couldn't keep myself where I was anymore. I wanted to get better physically. I wanted to change the way that I looked. I also wanted to get closer to God again. I wanted to, find happiness again, but I couldn't get myself to do it. And so I finally was like, you know what? In order to get myself right spiritually, physically, I need to get myself right mentally, because my mind is not into whatever I do. My mind's not in it. If I pray, my mind wasn't in it. And it would feel like empty prayers. And so I felt like mentally I needed something.
And what did you get some?
I called back to seek therapy again. And by the grace of God, I got set up with the most amazing therapist.
Okay.
Who is a Catholic woman.
Really? But this is not a Catholic institution.
No, it's through Kaiser.
Oh.
So it surprised me, but
wow, that's grace.
But who she was completely like changed me, because my treatment, my therapies were all faith-based.
Oh.
So every therapy session was like the word. It was, in El Padre Nuestro, he tells us to forgive. And, so everything was like pointing back to God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So once I had that treatment, it's like things started changing. But that's like the point where I was like, okay, like now I'm starting to feel not like my old self, but like my new self.
I see it though.
Yeah, like I feel like
last time you came over, I saw it.
Like I'm like, becoming a new version of me, like not being so stuck on like who I used to be and trying to become that again, because I'm thinking of myself as 10 years ago. And that's not me. I am I'm a wife, I'm a mom. Like my identity is so different. I think I grew up with the mentality of being like a boss babe, an independent woman.
Sure.
And that's who like, obviously like my parents pushed me to be, which I'm super, super grateful for that. But I think a large part that was an impact on me was, like my mom gave up her dreams to raise us. She was a stay-at-home mom too, who always like pushed us to like, you have to have your career, like you can't rely on a man and all this. But I don't think she like although she motivated us to be, strong women and independent women, I don't think she realized like the impact that who she was had more impact than like her words and encouragement. So like I don't look back and say, I wish my mom would have had a career, or I wish my mom would have worked. Like, I look back and I'm like, I'm so grateful that, like, she was there. Like, I'm grateful that, like, even though my dad had to work 2 to 3 jobs just to, like, provide for us. But, like, I'm so grateful that, like, my mom was always present. So, like, to me, like, that was, like, the biggest thing, like, in my childhood. And so now, as a mother, like, I think about that. Like, I think the important thing for me right now is being present with my kids. And so, like, my mind has shifted from being that independent, hard-working woman with a career and a great paying job to a mother and a wife who takes care of her home, who is that peace, who has that faith, and, kind of like shifting the focus on discipleship and leading my children and teaching my children. And I think that in today's society, we kind of forget that. We kind of give our children away to society.
Yeah.
For society to raise them and for society to teach them. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want to be that for them.
Yeah.
So
I guess I could see almost like where we started of like, because of the way we were just raised, right? Like, we know it's tough out there. We know we knew it was hard growing up. And now how we were mentioning of like, with the new stuff that's going on, like how much more protective a parent has to be over their kids.
Yeah.
And the realness, I think what I think I should have like sacrificed. I don't think people really and I prepare couples for marriage now, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, sacrifice in the biblical understanding, not sacrifice for the sake of sacrifice, but you do have to sacrifice.
Yes.
In order for your family life to be life-giving. Uno tiene que dejar unas cosas para que otras cosas florezcan.
Yeah.
And that's hard, especially like you're saying, because from a guy's perspective, like for you, it's like the boss working. But I get that it resonates. Like, you just gotta be bootstrapping. You gotta make it happen.
Yeah.
And then life puts you in a situation. And it's like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't make it happen. There's so much in there, because then there's also like, it's interesting how we know we also need to reach out and we don't. I know I've been stuck like that myself, or like, I know I need to reach out and I don't. I go into this like hole of like, maybe I could just write it out and maybe it'll kind of work out, and it doesn't come. It doesn't come. So where are you now? Like, where do you feel like you're now in that journey?
I think I'm kind of where I feel like I'm becoming. I'm on my way to where I need to be. I think my husband and I have both, had a lot of conversations and have come to an agreement of what we are doing for our family. What he's willing to do and what I'm willing to do to make it work. So I've also being more disciplined with myself. I think discipline is a big thing. I think I was always waiting to have motivation. And I think that's also kind of like what lost me, is just sitting around waiting to be motivated to do something. Motivated to pray, motivated to work out, motivated to clean. And if you sit around and wait to be motivated, it's not going to happen. Because you can be motivated today, but then for the next 5 days, you might not be.
Right. Because I think it's where people confuse motivation with the feeling, right? And the feelings are not always going to be there.
Yeah.
So what's going to hold it together when the feelings leave?
Yeah.
And that's marriage, by the way, you guys.
That's love.
Yeah, that's love.
Yes, because love is not going to be a feeling forever.
No.
I think it starts off as a feeling. You definitely feel for the person.
Yes.
But once that honeymoon stage starts to fade out, that's when real love grows.
For sure.
Because that's when you start making the decision
Yes.
to love someone.
The choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's marriage right there, because you can feel love. In our case, for my husband, his family loves him because that's his family. At the end of the day, like, our parents love us because we're their babies. But regardless of how I am, si soy corajuda or whatever, like, my good and my bad, like, he decides to love me regardless. His good and his bad, I decide to love him. I choose to love him, and move past things and discuss things and have conversations and forgive one another.
Constantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the choosing that gets me in marriage.
Yeah.
Like, you constantly have to choose.
Yeah.
I choose to forgive. I choose to be loving.
Yeah.
I choose to not to go there right now.
Yeah.
To just say, you know what? All right, I'm just gonna trust what you just said. But it's a constant choosing.
Yeah.
It's like in marriage for me, it's a choice.
Consistently
Choosing. Like, wow, I'm hitting a sweet spot in my marriage right now. We went through some arguments, and I mean, just recently we had an argument, but not to the extent that they were before. But I find myself just really, like, and I genuinely mean this, like, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happily married. Like,
yes.
Not that I wasn't before.
Right.
But I just feel like,
you know it now, though.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen how far you guys have come, and that you both are choosing to love one another, to choose each other. That you just know that this is where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is who you're choosing to live the rest of your life with.
For sure.
And that brings out happiness.
For sure, yeah.
But just like how I feel like I'm now learning to, like, be more patient, be more understanding, and be more forgiving with my husband, I'm also learning to do that with myself. And that's one of the things that I learned in my treatment, is how to be more forgiving with myself and with others as well. Because that was one thing for me. I held grudges.
Welcome to the team.
That was me, like, to the T. And forget it. It's one thing people could talk about me, whatever. But when it came to my babies and my husband, I will hold a grudge. I don't care. You made my husband feel a certain way, and I don't like that. But that was tearing me apart. And that's what my therapist was telling me. She's like, you know what? Like, the forgiveness is not for them. It's for you. You are hurting yourself by not forgiving. Because all your emotions, all this lack of forgiveness is causing you anger. Because you think of what they did and you're mad again, all over again.
Yeah.
You may not see this person 5, 6 months, a year or so. But you think about that situation and you're mad again. They still have control over your emotions.
Right, yeah.
And forgiveness, you let that control that they have over your emotions go.
Have you heard the quote? It's like, unforgiveness is like drinking poison, expecting the other person to die.
Yeah. And that's what it is. And I had to learn that. And now I have to, like, unlearn my anger and my resentment and all that I hold. I have to learn how to let it go. But I have to also be forgiving with myself, because I know that I had been so hard on myself, even when it comes to motherhood. Like, am I doing enough? Or am I, So I think, like, all of this has, like, led me to be more understanding, more forgiving with myself. And that has helped me with discipline too. It's like, okay, one day I could feel like doing this, the next day I can't, but I got to do it.
There's something powerful about anger when it's like properly ordered.
Oh yes,
You
for sure.
Because anger has pushed me to do things that I otherwise wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
To make that sacrifice. Or when I finally get fed up to a point, it's like, you know what? I'm tired of spending so much on DoorDash. And you get so angry, you're like, no more. And then you go drastic, and then you actually make the change now.
Yeah.
So it's an emotion that can be used powerfully to do.
It's definitely necessary in the right scenarios, because anger can lead you to be safe. to like,
Right.
you know, protect your children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could lead you to be more aware, but not to where you're so reactive with every little thing that
Right.
happens.
Right.
You know, so I think therapy and God has definitely like helped me shift
Yeah.
things around.
It's good therapy. God is in all healing. Like the right healing, like the healing that really heals the mind, the body, the soul.
Right.
Like God is the source of that, and God bless those therapists because
Oh yes.
me too. You talk
Yes.
about taboos, like that's one. Right. My therapy, I won't go into this, but my therapist had me because he diagnosed me with mild PTSD, and he gave me this exercise going back to how I see myself. But I'm only gonna super quick. So on a piece of paper, he said, "You're an artist, Jimmy. Draw your face 3 times." And one of the faces, I want you to draw yourself the way you think other people see you. And the middle one, draw yourself in the way that you see yourself. And the third one, I want you to draw the way you think God sees you. Oh, man, I recommend that exercise for anyone who kind of struggles with identity or like how you perceive and be perceived. I guess I was so shocked. Like when you allow yourself to really just like no interruption, you just allow the pencil to flow, and you surprised. I shocked myself with what I was writing, or the way that I was drawing myself differently in these 3 things.
Yeah.
And that brought about so much healing. I was just like, I guess I got a little anger towards myself still.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I am more ashamed of some things that I really weigh heavy on me that I won't admit. Like, wow, like, but just doing it, that exercise for me was powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the third one is the most important one, though. And even though that shed a lot of light too, because I needed some healing with God, but the truth of like who we really are, you know, ultimately. But
Yeah.
so let me say that again, barbershop segment. Yeah, instead of doing all that. So these are just meant to be lighthearted, you know, lighthearted questions. But so if Jesus asked you to bake something for him, what would you bake him and why?
El pan de vida? What would I make? I don't know. Let's see. What would be more his vibe?
Yeah, what do you think?
I would think nothing chocolate, that's for sure, and that's what I brought. But
why not chocolate? Why?
I don't know. I just don't see Jesus really being like a chocolate fan. He just don't seem like that. Something more, you know, simple, but good. Maybe something classic, more like a classic tres leches, or you know, churro cheesecake is a little bit simple, but with a little pizzazz. So maybe something like that.
Put the sign of a fish or something.
In the shape of a cross. I don't know.
So as he's going through your life, he's just eating it. Oh, you good, Steph? You know, come on in. You know, come on in. Wait till Mary show you how to, you know.
Oh, I know. Then I'm gonna learn.
She was like, Stephanie, you got it right on the money. Like I made these for Jesus. You know, you got it right. Who's the patron saint of like baking? Do you know?
No,
I don't know.
I actually haven't looked.
I have to look that up. Yeah, I don't know who the patron saint of baking is. So speaking of baking, you baked something for me.
Something.
Oh my gosh, you guys! I've had Stephanie's delicious sweets before, and let me tell you, this Stephanie, what is this?
This is chocolate tres leches.
You heard that? Chocolate tres leches. Oh, and look at the quantity is not even like a little tidbit. This is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the whole week. Oh, yes. Steph, first of all, thank you.
You're welcome.
This I'm gonna. Oh my God. More sit-ups for me. But this is phenomenal. How long you been baking?
I would say maybe like 5 years, 6 years.
5 years baking? Okay.
Yeah, but my interest actually also started at youth group.
With baking?
Yes. Oh. For some time we were doing a lot of bake sales.
Oh.
So, you know, like for On Fire, for any little, for retreats or whatever, we did bake sales. And it is something that I do enjoy doing. So I'm always open to it.
Okay, especially weddings. You guys have a wedding? Ooh, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's cake. I'm gonna enjoy this. You guys gotta tap in. Anyways,
Yes.
it was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking
Thank
the
you for
time.
having me.
Yeah. God bless you.
You
And
too.
we'll see ya. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.